And thank you for doing this.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Oh, it's good to go.
Are you ready? Yeah. So if you just say your name, your position, and
Okay. I am Denise Calhoun here at the middle school. I'm the MTSS coach, which is multi-tiered system and support. I'm also the intervention coordinator, and I assist over the STEP coaching.
absolutely. And how long have you been here?
I just started here this school term, so I just started here in August.
Great, great. So I guess first off, what has your experience been to date with STEP, and just share us a little bit about what this year has looked like for you.
Well, when I first came here, this was my first time hearing of STEP. I've never heard of the STEP program before I got here. And so we have a lot of students here with different emotional disabilities, ADHD and autism. And so when the program was introduced, I knew that it would be something that I figured would be very helpful to some of our students, especially the ones in 5th grade.
And some personal experiences of how it's impacted students. Do any come to mind? that you wanna
Yeah, as of right now, I work with 3 particular students. One who I have a great story about. He's a student in the 5th grade, and STEP has been very impactful on his life. He struggles sometimes with concentrating, focusing. He has a lot of distractions sometimes, which causes him to act out during, in class.
Sure.
And so now that we've been able to do STEP, usually I get him early in the morning when school starts, around 7:45, 7:50, before he actually goes to class. So since we've been doing that, he's able to concentrate more in class. He doesn't have outbursts like usually when he's frustrated in class. So it's been very beneficial. If we miss a step because of whatever reasons
Right.
during the day, then he literally does have an outbreak.
Really?
Seriously. Last week I went to a reading conference and I wasn't here, and I literally had to explain that I wasn't going to be here to do the STEP coaching with him, different things. So I gave him the stress ball to deal with, and he lasted okay. The next day after that I got a call, and so STEP has really helped him a lot.
And tell me, how are you all approaching your school day? You mentioned you do it in the morning. Like,
Yeah, we do
are the
STEP.
kids doing it when they come in off the bus, or
We do STEP twice a day.
Okay.
So usually we start around 7:45, 7:50, to try to get them before they go to class to, be the most impactful. And then again, we get them after lunch.
okay.
So all of our students that receive STEP receive it twice a day.
Right, you get that 4-hour break between
Yes,
the
ma'am.
morning and the afternoon.
Uh-huh.
And I guess when as far as how staff has responded to this with your teachers and the STEP exercise coaches that we train, what's been the response? Anything from, like you just said, from the twice a day?
Uh-huh.
How has it been received from them? And then what have some of the responses that the teachers have expressed? Are they fired up and seeing the impacts that you just mentioned?
Yeah, because one of our students who wasn't doing so well with STEP was kind of resistant
Okay.
to STEP. Just because he was dealing with, some other things, he was real resistant. So a teacher asked if we could trade him out for another student, and Megan said that we could because she saw the impact of STEP with one of the other students who has ADHD. And so she asked, well, can we trade that student out so we can see if things will change? And so the teachers have also seen how well it works, and so we did do that when she was here last. We traded him out and added another student to it, and they said they've already started to see progress.
Good. And then as far as the core physical skills, are you seeing across the board improvements with the balance? You mentioned earlier,
Yes.
focus, concentration.
Especially with the eye tracking.
Yeah.
Because a lot of minds have trouble with the eye tracking. They look down, don't want to look up. So now they do. And even if they still have trouble with it, I can just simply say, remember to look up. And they start to do it, where at first it wasn't that easy.
A couple more questions. I'm just thinking out loud that we would be interested to get your response on being an ed technology company, right? And how we deliver this over the computer to you. How do you find ease of operation with that has been, easy to, can you just comment about like what it was like, your experience? Did you find like it was, as far as step training with Megan and Lindsay and then actually delivering it to the students, was that process pretty easy for you all to grasp and to implement here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
For one, it has the videos on it that explains, step by step and shows you what to do. And by being, on the computer, it's easy because if I'm unable to get here in my office to catch the student, then I have my phone. So I can easily pull it up on the phone and see the activity that I need to work with the student. So, yeah.
So feel like it's easy, and as far as for you to manage your staff,
Yes.
you can see, and then the compliancy,
Right.
You're obviously the person that manages what we call as our dashboard, right?
Right,
So you
right.
can speak to that just a little bit about being able to easily access and track your students' progress and your teacher and step coaches' ability to implement and consistency.
And that helped as well with the process of us moving a student and adding another student, because that one student that I told you about that was kind of resistant, we saw that he was having a lot of compliance issues and it just wasn't working out well. So we were able to see that
Right.
on the dashboard, and that teachers were struggling with the time for him. The times were shorter because he was just so resistant during the activities that they were having to end it. And like I said, it just showed that there was no compliance. And so that helped out a lot when the teacher asked if we could add another student. And we knew then that that would be best to move that student.
Right.
You guys asked, did you and the staff, Ms. Calvin, did you and the staff find it relatively easy to identify the right children who would suit a program like STEP?
Yes, yes.
Why was that?
Well, when Megan came here, they were the ones who were able to, that asked us different, when we found out what type of program it was and what activities they would be dealing with, like the eye tracking, we automatically knew that what students it would help based on what the program was about. And mostly for 5th and 6th grade, because those are our students with EMD students, and the autism and ADHD.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Any other questions?
Brilliant.
Yeah.